Hello, everybody. It's time for Footy Talks presented by NorthStar Bets. And then there were 8. The quarterfinals kicks off on Friday. I'm Albert Vartanian. Sara, Poraria, and Michael Singh are here with me to break down the games and give you some picks. Let's start with Brazil taking on Croatia. Sara, Brazil, the odds are suggesting this should be one-way traffic for Brazil against Croatia. How do you see this playing out?
I like the odds here. I'm 100% behind Brazil in this one. I think Brazil are going to come out swinging, and I think they're actually going to score 3 or more goals. That is my bet. I honestly see this playing out very similar to the score of the Korea and Brazil match. Not to say that Croatia is going to be that team that kind of just sits down and falls apart. I don't think so, but I think Brazil just have so much more talent, pace, class than Croatia. I think it is going to be like a 3-0 or like a 3-1 even. But I'm expecting to see lots of goals from Brazil and Croatia just unfortunately not be able to handle it.
Mikey, Croatia is a tough team to break down. 4 of the last 5 World Cup matches and major tournaments have gone to extra time. They've never lost a penalty shootout at the World Cup. The draw right now is at plus 390. Is there value there?
I think there is. I can't co-sign with Sarah's bet over here. I think it'll be a lot lower scoring than a lot of people anticipate from a Brazil match. And the reason being is when you look at this tournament overall, both teams, they tend to go under the total goals. So I don't see that changing for a tighter quarterfinal matchup. Draw, yeah, you know what? Croatia's a team that's going to be really tough to break down. They're going to grind you out. Is there value there potentially? Do I see it being a draw? That's tough against a team like Brazil. They have so much quality, and I do believe they're going to win. I just don't think it'll be a blowout like we saw against South Korea.
Brazil's been bounced from the quarterfinals every time since they won the World Cup back in 2002. Let's go to the next game. Netherlands against Argentina. The odds are suggesting this one's a bit closer than maybe a lot of people think. Sara, with Argentina, and we were just talking about this, they rely heavily on Lionel Messi, and it makes sense, right? One of the best players in the world, if not the best player in the world. But what is the plan B if he doesn't play at his best?
I don't even think they have one because Messi has been playing at his best. So I think it is continue the way they're playing. Hopefully we see Di Maria being back in the starting lineup, which will be huge, of course, for Argentina. Maybe Rodrigo de Paul will be there. I don't know. Start Julian Alvarez. Hopefully Lautaro Martinez doesn't see the pitch at all.
A lot of hopefullys in there. A lot of hopefullys in there.
Yeah, maybe Dybala comes in. But I think how can the Argentine side not rely on Messi when he is playing such amazing football and he's, like you said, the best player in the world? It's only natural to rely on him.
When it comes to this matchup, the draw, again, there's some value there at over plus 200 odds.
I love draws.
I do love the draw, especially in quarterfinals. This is 2 teams, right, that are of equal quality, right? The Netherlands have shown they can frustrate teams and kill them on the counter. Is there value on backing them to go all the way?
Netherlands to go all the way?
Yeah.
There's value there because, as you've pointed out, this Netherlands team can definitely grow as the tournament's gone on, and they're a team that's shown they've done that coming from their first game, which was against Senegal.
Yeah,
what a time.
way back when.
Way back, right? And now to where they are now, thumping the U.S., they've grown as a team as this tournament has gone on. What I actually like in this match, because you're right, this match is a lot closer than I think a lot of people expect when you hear the name Argentina and Lionel Messi. I think this is more of a toss-up, but what I like in this match is goals. I see both teams trying to find a way to get getting the back of the net and scoring. So I like the over 2.5 goals actually in this one. I believe there's a few in them, both from Netherlands and Argentina.
Now, a lot of quality in both attacks. Let's go to the next game. Morocco plus 525 against Portugal, minus 159. I wouldn't lay, I don't think, the money with Portugal because this is a pretty close game. You know, depending on how Morocco comes into it, how they feel after that huge win over Spain. But only 1 goal conceded. Defensively, they're fantastic. It's going forward that's the problem. They're struggling to score goals. How do you see this one playing out?
I got the under 2.5 goals, but a Portugal win. So I combined those two and parlayed those two. Like you said, Morocco does not concede a lot of goals. The last time a player has scored against Morocco was all the way back in June. So that's just an insane testament to how good they are defensively, and they've shown that against really good teams throughout the course of this tournament. Obviously, Croatia. Canada is the only team that got by them via an own goal in a game that really was out of reach by the time they did score, and then they did it against Belgium and then Spain. So they've been tested in terms of their defense. They've managed to put out those fires, but at the same time, Portugal's looked really good throughout the course of this tournament. I see them having the edge in this match overall, but in a tight scoring game.
Sarah, you've been a huge Morocco backer before the World Cup even started. If you're a Moroccan supporter, what's your confidence level right now going into this match?
Well, I think we've mentioned this before. They have no pressure on them being the underdog. No one really expects Morocco at this point, to get out of the group, to beat a team like Spain, to beat a team like Portugal, to make it to the quarterfinals. So for them, they're just breaking records and creating new history for their team, but at what expense? If they lose today, they still made it to the quarterfinal. They're still super proud of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And they got knocked out to a team like Portugal, which has immense talent. So for them, I think it's just be proud of where you are and leave it all on the pitch. There's a good chance they could still win.
House money. They're playing with house money, right?
Exactly. So, for them, it's just enjoy the ride and do what you guys have been doing, because there's a chance that you guys could be Portugal.
Yeah, and they can be the first African team to make the semifinals of the World Cup, which is huge. They're already breaking records, but I think getting into the semis would be something they wouldn't even possibly even think of. To the next game, England, France, probably the biggest fixture of the quarterfinals. This is being dubbed England against Mbappe. So the question for you, Mike, if that's the case, can England stop Mbappe?
I believe they can stop Mbappe, but I also believe they don't necessarily have to stop Mbappe, because I believe that their firepower is just as lethal as France's firepower.
Right.
They're a team that scored a ton of goals throughout the course of this tournament. And what I actually like in this game, I see it as close to a pick'em, and I've said this over and over, but my rule when it's a pick'em, you go with the bigger number. And for me, England to qualify, so not only just full time, just if it goes to extra time or shootout, England to get the better of France, that's at plus 118. That's good numbers, good value for a team like England, who is shown to be, I believe, one of the top 2 or 3 teams so far in this tournament.
Besides Mbappe, we'll get back to that, Sarah, but what's the formula for England to beat France?
It's going to be tricky, because I think this is going to be a very fast game. I see this going back and forth so much, like Mikey mentioned. England have a great attack as well, just like we know France does. So I see this. It's going to be very difficult. I think this is going to come down a lot to Jordan Pickford, who I don't think has been tested that much in this tournament with the teams that England have faced. England's biggest game was against the USA, and it was 1-1 draw. You could say the same thing maybe about France, but I don't know, something about Jordan Pickford being put up against Mbappe, Dembele, Giroud, Dembele, it is going to be difficult. So I don't know. I think it's going to be something in the back there within the goalie and the 3 or 4. Who knows? Maybe that's what it comes down to.
You don't trust Harry Maguire?
Harry Maguire. Let me ask you a question, Mikey. Yeah. Who would you rather have as your keeper, Jordan Pickford or Hugo Lloris in this matchup?
Hugo Lloris. Jordan Pickford's had a fantastic year, but I don't think he's at the level of Hugo Lloris.
Experience.
Hugo Lloris, I believe, is underappreciated. He is a good quality goalkeeper. I know he instills some fear in you as a.
He has a mistake in him, right? Which we've seen, but he makes up for it.
Yeah, he's a quality keeper. I'd rather Hugo Lloris.
And so your pick, France and Mbappe, right?
France and Mbappe plus 295. How can you not like that? And this is France in regular time.
Oh, on the money line. Okay. Risky pick.
Listen, I don't know what it is in me, but I didn't have a lot of faith in France going into this. I don't think any of us have. But the more they're playing, the more I'm like, do you know what? They're so deep. They have such good players. Mbappe is here. It looks to me like Brazil and France could be the final. I mean, anything's possible, but it's hard not to go against this side.
You know what's great about the teams that are in this quarterfinal right now? Regardless of who's in the World Cup final, it's going to be an unbelievable matchup. Oh, yeah. You can potentially have Brazil-France, Brazil-England, Brazil-Portugal, Argentina-Portugal. You're speaking of which, Argentina-Portugal. This is kind of off of the betting stuff, but based on what we've seen with Portugal, Ronaldo not starting. Imagine the final we have, Argentina-Portugal. Messi starts for Argentina, Ronaldo on the bench. That is a possibility. That can actually happen.
Who are you, Piers Morgan with these scenarios?
No, no, I'm not Piers Morgan. No, but think about it. I think the debate won't end there at the World Cup.
But I think the debate has
right? Because they're not going head-to-head. Sorry, Sarah.
No, my apologies. I already think the debate is... Okay, I think the debate is over, but I'm obviously a Messi fan. But if we're looking at the World Cup right now, you have one team relying solely on one player, and then you have another team who is playing much better football without that player. Does that mean that player is bad? No. And are they still amazing? Yes. But to me, I just think it's silly that we keep pushing and pushing. Like, it's just, can we just enjoy them? They only have a few more years
It will go on and on. But I just think about that. The final, if it's Argentina, Portugal, both of those players will not be on the pitch at the same time.
Yeah, he won't sit on the bench. He would not sit on the bench if they were playing Argentina and Messi.
What do you mean?
He would if they didn't start him against Argentina and Messi, he would say, you know what, forget
Sarah,
it.
if Portugal beats Morocco without starting Ronaldo, and they go into the semis, they beat France or England without Ronaldo, how do you start Ronaldo in the final?
I agree, but have you seen this man?
It's not up to him, though, clearly.
Hey. No, you saw how much it meant to him in that interview with Piers Morgan. He said if he scores the third goal as hat trick.
No, that was a stupid question for Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan's like, what do you think if you score 2 goals and Messi scores 2 goals and then you score the winner? What do you think he's going to say?
Is that your Piers Morgan accent?
But think about it. That's any kid's dream, right? To score like a hat trick goal in the World Cup final.
What he would do, he would refuse to come on the pitch and wait till the cameras pan on him and then walk down the tunnel.
Yeah. We've seen this.
The agenda is out on Ronnie.
And Ronnie, like, Messi lives in Ronaldo's brain rent free. He's always thinking about this, where I think Messi is more like, I just want Argentina to win. Like, I feel like to him, that's the difference. Ronaldo wants to be the saving grace and be that guy for Portugal, where Messi simply wants Argentina to finally win that World Cup.
Can I say, poor Gonzalo Ramos.
This is what I have been saying.
No,
We're going to talk about this guy. 21.
He's being talked about, though. He's being talked about.
We spoke about this. Albert
in
said
the same headline as Cristiano Ronaldo.
But that's the headline that sells. Ramos wins the game for Portugal with a hat trick. What sells more, that or Ronaldo on the bench for Portugal?
Here's our headline for this. Cristiano Ronaldo will not start for Portugal in the World Cup final.
Oh, Portugal might not even
be in the World Cup final.
Hey, be nice, okay? Let me recap your picks. This is a betting show after all. Okay, Sarah, Brazil plus over 2.5. Messi, anytime score. And France plus Mbappe, anytime score at plus 300. Mikey, anytime assists for Neymar, which I love. Argentina, Netherlands over 2.5. Portugal, Morocco under 2.5. And England to advance. That's it for Footy Talks. And guys, make sure for all the World Cup markets, head over to NorthStarBets.ca. Thanks for watching.